When people ask you, so what is this secret ingredient? Then you just go, ho 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 ho. I am Dr. Leslie Tay. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm very excited to share with you one of my favorite recipes of all time, sweet and sour pork. And remember, some time ago we ran this competition, right? To ask you, what is the secret ingredient in this dish? Well, the secret ingredient is Haw Flakes. Why Haw Flakes? Because when I talk to all the older chefs, they all tell me that in the past they used to make sweet and sour pork. The haw fruit was one of the components of sweet and sour pork. So you can go to the medicinal shop and buy sancha, the dried sancha, and make it from using that, or you can easily make it from these Haw Flakes, which are easily available online at RedMart. Alright, so let's talk about the pork first. This is pork collar that I got from RedMart. Pork collar has got a nice balance of fat and meat, and that's what you want. First thing is to tenderize our meat. This will break some of the meat fibers so that the pork becomes really tender and absorbs all that seasoning. Alright, and once it's tender, you want to cut it into little cubes, maybe about 2 centimeter cubes, right? So this is a nice piece of meat. It's got a nice bit of fat on it. It's got a little bit of connective tissue. You know, sweet and sour pork is not supposed to be tender right through. It's supposed to have a little bit of a chew. Now that all the meat is cut, let's season it. I'm going to start with a bit of ginger juice. You need about 1 tablespoon. So this is just some ginger which I will grate. Ginger is very important for pork, I find, because it can be a little bit porky, and the ginger really masks the pork flavor. And at the same time, it also helps to tenderize the pork. We just squeeze this, and you see all that nice juice will come out. Chinese wine. Chinese wine again helps to mask the flavor, the porky flavor. It gives it a nice aroma. This is just some seasoning powder, chicken powder, salt. This is just some baking soda. Baking soda helps to also tenderize the meat. What it does is it changes the pH of the meat so that the muscle fibers don't contract a lot when you are actually cooking the meat. That keeps the juices in and ensures that the proteins don't tighten up. And tapioca flour. Then we crack an egg. You really want to make sure that the marinade is well massaged into the meat. Like that, okay? And then finally we got some sesame oil. Okay, there you go. That's done. It's got a nice smell. I'm not sure about the younger Singaporeans whether it's as popular, but you know, these are the kind of things last time in school, right? You buy these flakes from the tuck shop and they cost, I think, 5 cents for maybe 2 pieces or something like that. And you just go one corner, relax, and eat on this, chew on these Haw Flakes. So you got the Haw Flakes in here. What we do is we just crush them. It just makes your sauce a nice flavor and a tang that makes it a little bit different from the commonly found sweet and sour pork. And then of course you can boast people. You say, you know, last time sweet and sour pork traditionally use this haw fruit, you know. So this is my sweet and sour pork. When people ask you, so what is this secret ingredient? Then you just go, ho 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 ho. Don't tell you. Alright. So that's all the haw flake that's made into powder now. 1 cup of water. So let's just put this haw flake to boil. So now that it's dissolved, we're going to add in some tomato ketchup. This is I add this for color as well. We've got some plum sauce. Like I say, if you don't have all these ingredients, you know, tomato ketchup, sugar and vinegar is probably your most basic sweet and sour sauce. Okay, so our sauce is basically done. Let's put this aside. Alright, so let's get the vegetables ready. We need some onion. Let's cut them into the same size as your pork. It's quarter and then cut into little wedges like this. Need some capsicum. And of course we have pineapple. All these flavors, right, later on when we cook in the sauce that we just prepared, the flavors actually come out and give that sauce that sweet and sour pork flavor. It gives it more complexity. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare the pork for deep frying. One of the very important things is to get a very nice crispy batter on your pork, because you know the ultimate sweet and sour pork that I had in Hong Kong, the outside was so crisp and yet light. And when you bite into it, you go crunch and then everything just disappears, you know. This is just tempura premix that you can buy from RedMart. Alright, just coat all the pork with the flour. Okay, and then you leave it aside for a while. The key is to get it crispy, and so what we're going to do is to do a two-stage frying process. On the first fry, we're going to just cook the meat through. So we're going to fry at about 160 degrees. And then on the second fry, we will fry about 190 degrees in order to crisp up the meat. So this is just the tempura flour mix. So you just want to add water into your flour mix, and you want to have the water to be very cold, right? Alright, so we'll fry the meat in small batches now. Pick up your sweet and sour pork, dip quickly in the batter and throw it in. For this second stage, we want to have it really hot. We want it to be about 190. And then just a quick 30-second. The Chinese chefs always explain it this way. When you cook it in a hot oil, the oil actually comes out of the batter, making it more crisp. Okay, so the last stage. We're gonna caramelize the sugar. So all these little things are what makes a good dish into a super dish. Right? All these little things. Okay, once your sugar is nice and golden brown, put in the sauce. Okay, put in all your vegetables. Alright, now you just want to simmer this for about 5 minutes. Alright, the vegetables, the onions are not just there for show. When you actually cook all these vegetables and the pineapple and the capsicum and the onions in the sauce, the flavor actually comes out. So without the vegetables, your sauce will not have that complexity. This salsa is already quite tangy by itself, which is why I haven't added in any vinegar, if you notice. It's got that interesting flavor that most people won't be able to put your finger on, right? You put in a little bit of the cornstarch to thicken the sauce. Okay, so the sauce is ready. Turn off the heat. Let it rest for a while. I'm going to put in the pork and I'm just going to stir and then serve it. Do this step just before you serve it because you want the pork to be really crispy. You can hear how crispy that is. You can just hear that crispiness, can't you? Okay, quick stir. And here you go, my sweet and sour pork with the very special secret ingredient, Haw Flakes. Alright, time to try. Oh, it's got a nice crispiness. That Haw Flake flavor is imperceptible, but it makes a difference to the sauce, yeah? So next time you're making sweet and sour pork, consider using some of these Haw Flakes. Very easily available online from RedMart. I wish you all happy cooking and happy eating.